9. Canyon walls. Tenka and G passed the next day hobbling toward home. When they stopped to rest, Tenka killed a couple speedy little payarico, and G speared a sizable river fish. They cooked the meat over a small fire. While they walked, the two women found and ate the occasional scrub fruit, sweet cactus, or edible desert flower. They saw no one as they passed through the lands of their people until on the third day, well into the canyonlands, they glimpsed their home. The village now in view, the two women walked faster, Tenka not giving G the option of a comfortable pace any longer. The village lay along one side of the canyon, built under a natural overhang of the cliff wall. Multi-story buildings lined the canyon wall, made of stone and clay and beams of wood. Paths and steps crisscrossed the village, leading up and down from home to home and terrace to terrace. Small entrances opened into cool, dark interiors. Some of the older children playing in the river spotted the two women and ran to meet them, naked and gleaming. "How many people did you kill?" one of them asked. "How bad is the cut?" asked another. "Can you see the bone?" "Where are the others?" another asked, horror flooding his face. "They are fine, little ones," Tenka said. "As are we. We defeated a raiding band which attacked us, but found no big game. Hopefully the others will have more luck." The children followed them into the village singing the welcome song. A few faces appeared in windows and doorways looking for mothers, daughters, or mates. When they did not see them, the faces retreated into the darkness. "Will you go to the medicine woman?" Tenka asked G. G shook her head. "I will rest first." Tenka started to protest, thought better of it, nodded instead. The two of them made their way up stone steps, first to the second level, then up to the third and highest where the childless lived. Escaping the heat of midday, G's mate lay asleep on the floor of their dwelling, pressed against the back wall. G nodded to Tenka. The older woman left the younger to her home and her mate. Tenka made her way back down to the first level, where families with babies and very young children lived, along with the old and feeble. Tenka's mate lay stretched across the doorway of their dwelling, just inside. Protection in case either of their little ones awoke and tried to get out. Tenka bent down and nudged the man she had chosen as mate so many years ago. All the villages had gathered to celebrate midsummer. They exchanged gifts and food, ate and drank, danced and told stories. She and the other young women had inspected the young men like a flock of chakwi, to be divvied up and taken home for egg-laying. He had not been the strongest, or the biggest, or the fiercest. He was shy but confident, and seemed possessed of a wisdom beyond his years. He looked into her eyes and made her laugh, and she knew. His name was Dominoch. Everyone called him Och. He looked up. She smiled down at her mate and motioned for him to come outside. He looked at their baby girl and small boy, nestled against the back wall, fast asleep, then grabbed a half-door of woven scrub branches resting against the inside wall. He dragged it behind him, propping it in the doorway as he left. "Listen for the little ones and watch them when they wake," Tenka said to the older children who had returned to splashing in the river. She focused her attention on the oldest two, a brother and sister. "Yes, yes, Auntie," said the girl. "You always tell us. We know. You don't have to tell us every time." Tenka nodded. "I know, young one, but I feel better if I say the words." "Fine, fine," the girl said, then muttered, "The fathers know to trust us. Why are the hunter mothers so anxious?" Tenka ignored her. Looking forward to the day the girl grew old enough to begin battle training and hunting. She grabbed Och's hand as they walked the path out of the village and upriver, where children were not allowed to play. "How is it?" she asked him. "Fine with us," he said. You are the one back early with a wounded shoulder. How is it with you?" He touched her shoulder above the bandage. She pulled her shoulder away. "I am not bad. G was hurt worse, which is why I am home so early, ruining your happy days free of your nagging woman." Och laughed. "Have I said something funny?" "No," he said, still smiling. "Happy and free, as you say. Just the men and the old fathers and old mothers and an endless supply of wild children to keep safe. Daily pounding of Akiva root and Chumskaya, gathering and chopping dead trees to keep cook fires burning, getting water for the crops and the old mother's endless stew-making, herding children, responding to elders' constant requests for help, washing clothes." "Yes, yes," Tenka interrupted. "A hard life you men live, I remember now. Never having to leave your family, never being in danger from enemy hunters and raiders and the ever-present Easterlings." "Art?" He stopped and looked at her wide-eyed. "Is it the Easterlings who injured you or other hunters?" They had almost reached the waterfall, where the stream cascaded down a rocky face, then fell in a shower, cutting a waist-deep pool underneath. She ignored his question for the moment and pulled him along the path until they stood beside the waterfall. "Chat hunters," she said, beginning to undress him. "I fought one of them to the edge of a ravine, then kicked her off. We both went over, but she went all the way over. I only fell a little way. She sliced me when I kicked. I should have moved quicker." "Aye," he said, "you should have." He undressed her, laying her clothes in a dry pile near the stream, next to his, cloak, poncho, sleeves, leggings, skirts, undergarment. They waded into the pool. Tenka washed Och, rubbing his skin with a smooth rock warmed by the sun. Then he washed her, wetting her sun-streaked brown hair, wild and thick, standing like flames of fire from her head and falling down her back in a mix of braids, mats, and loose strands. She ran her fingers over the thick braids of his hair. He removed the bandage covering her left shoulder and inspected the wound. He washed it, then pressed the warm rock against it. "I noticed you were not wearing the padded shoulder armor we took from the hairy devils." She pursed her lips and looked away. "The hairy devils have their ways, and we have ours. Why would I dishonor myself by wearing their clothes?" "You wear the pretty neckband of glittering string you took from them." "That is different," she said. "That is a trophy. Ah, one decorates and the other protects, and you choose the decoration as your trophy." She pushed him back with both hands. "You do not understand. You are a man. You would not notice the extra weight. I must be quick and light and move like the wind. You are a protector, so you wear the stupid armor if you want protection. I am a hunter and attacker. I wear the clothes of my warrior mother, and her mother, and her mother. No foreigner's coward armor will cover my body." She hated the way he smiled at her, and she hated more her half-hollow words. He changed the subject. "A man came from over the mountains while you were away," he said, then quickly added, "Not an Easterling, a man of the Kote people. He had a band with him. We saw their dust cloud on the horizon and went out to meet them, wary of an attack. But they came in peace. He came to talk of the foreigners." "What did he say? What did they want? Did you invite them into the village?" "Aye, we did." She threw her hands in the air and, moaning loudly in protest, brought them down in a big splash. Och pulled himself onto the rocky edge of the pool to warm in the sun. "It was okay," he said in reply to her angry stare. "They were only about a dozen, and they looked too weak to fight anyway. We made them leave their weapons outside the village." She relented and pulled herself up next to him. "What did the man say?" "He said he had never been over the Kairosh, or anyone from his village. He says he has visions. His visions showed him he must bring together all the tribes, even we Southerners. He and his small band are going to every tribe and clan and telling them the same thing. Unite against the foreigners or they will overrun us and take our lands. He says in the north they are spreading like tiki tocho, planting new settlements everywhere. He says if the Kote or any other people try to stop them, Och continued, they come in great numbers and tell them to trade the land for many foreign things. And if they say no to that, they come in even greater numbers and drive them out. He says if the Kote fight back and kill the foreigners, 2 or 3 times as many come back next time. He said the foreigners brought sickness with them and many of his people have died even without fighting. We told him we have also had much sickness since they came to our lands and began trading with us. Tenka said, G and I saw a new settlement on the sand tiers. One of the men tried to kill us, so I had no choice but to kill him. Yes, I know, she said, seeing his eyes go wide. This should be the first thing you tell me. Another dead Easterling? We will have trouble again. It was only a small settlement, and the man nearly shot us with arrows. What was I to do? He sighed. You did well, my love. You came home alive. I only wish these people would keep to themselves. I wish the woman had come after us instead. There were children. But the women are useless, they only scream. I would not have felt bad killing her, but who will protect her children? She looked back up at Och. Does the Kote man want us to make war? He is going to the other clans and talking with them. I told him the leaders of each clan would meet together when he had spoken his fill and decide what to do. I think we will see him again before he goes back. Think on that, Tenka said. All the tribes making war together against the hairy devils. Has this world ever seen such a sight? Och shook his head. I have not heard of such a thing, even in the old stories. The 2 of them sat silently on the hard, smooth rocks at the edge of the pool, their naked legs dangling in the water. Tenka's mind turned from Dominoch's tale of the Easterling man to their children who would be waking soon, if not already. She desperately wished to see them and hold them and kiss them. She had been away so much this season. But first, Tenka reached down and stroked Och's inner thigh. Are you too concerned with Easterlings to have a little fun with me? For you, Cactus Flower, I will try to forget my concerns for a while. He smiled. It will be difficult, but I will try.